Hey, how's it going? So I'm hiking right now, and I thought I'd do like a little break, talk about some stuff. I guess currently what's going on, I'm reevaluating a lot of social media, and I mean the social media that people flock to are owned by conglomerate Facebook. You got Microsoft, um, and then Yahoo. All these organizations are attached to collecting your data, selling it, or using it for NSA collection, and they all single-handedly have backdoors. They openly let that happen. I mean, the people who make this stuff know to cover their webcam and stuff like that just due to these reasons, and how it tracks every move, even through like your ISP if needed. There's like a lot that people just don't know about, but they're using it anyway. And I think people need to start becoming more aware on what their motivation is to have all this happen, and it's not for the pleasure of creative expansion. Um, they're for-profit companies, so it's not like something they're out there to help artists like be known. Now the thing is, a lot of artists use these platforms, and I'm one of them. So in these situations, I'm approached where I'm viewing Instagram as very much falling in the same place as Facebook. Now, Instagram's owned by Facebook, so their whole division is based on the same methods that Facebook took of installing algorithm, removing your own customizability, so they have a better high-end control on what is perceived on the media. And if you like use it a lot, well, very much so that you're going to be under that influence. They've had studies where they've actually purposely plotted stuff on people's newsfeed just do a psychological study, and you don't want a network like that. I mean, I got off Facebook a while ago, and I mean, I was on Instagram early on before they got acquired, and now like ever since the algorithm changed, and now there's a whole wave of the alt media and conscious expanding community being at least toggled with in terms of exposure. I notice the degree of people being able to view and see stuff, not just me, but other people as well on Twitter, YouTube. I mean, Google's a huge part in that. Let's see, I'm on Instagram and even Tumblr with these two. I do it for my deep forest projects and creations that I do. So that outlet there, I post videos and whatnot, but at that same time too, I use that as an opportunity to like share inner wisdom and whatever comes to mind. But to the degree I've spoken out on the past against the system we're in, and a lot of people that have a high paying hand in what makes this all possible. So I mean, it's not surprised that they can collect data, because I can instantly put something on there and within a second they've already scanned and stored the video, and then they analyzed it, thinking if there's any copyrighted content, anything they can take from here, and they run it against all their databases. Now keep in mind that this all occurs in the moment that like you upload something. You give permission, you pass it over to them. So to the degree of what people are able to use with that, I mean, it's really one's own decision, but I personally find it very challenging now to even continue with Instagram, because unless you play the game, which I'm tired of playing the game, I could post something for fun, but I'm not making it a priority. It's just, I can see where it's heading, basically. So I want to start the migration to somewhere else. I think I might focus on Patreon, because people can follow me there without even having to be a patron. So you don't have to like do any monthly tiers. I mean, you can get unlocks if you do, because I post like extra stuff that isn't always seen. So you can explore my journey that way, and I'll probably manage things on my own website, because I've recently updated and put a blog in, so I can have that act as the main, let's say, publisher, while I can use email newsletters as updates every so often. Not enough that like you're getting one every single day. That's too much. Patreon, you can actually enable something like that if you want like non-stop notifications that way. But email wise, my newsletter, I kind of do want to do like summaries, new announcements, stuff like that. So that'll be something. If that interests you, I mean, sign up on my website. I'll be shifting more and revealing more about that. Plus I want to do like more videos and content that actually jumps on a lot of different things. Because right now we're in a shifting time where people are gonna want this information out there, so that universe can bring them to it, just in case they need to have some sort of insider realization come from it. So it's good to plant them. If I have the thought to express, I might as well bring it into being, allow it to flow through, act as a release, and set its waves upon. So it's not stored up. I don't have to hold on to that. I pass it along while I'm continuing to do what my heart's content to do day after day, being in the moment. I mean, it changes. I got ideas and directions, but it's not like a solid plan. You flow. You don't force a river to be a square degree. You let it smooth and find its way. Nature's flow. We work in that flow. So you gotta honor it. And you gotta honor yourself sometimes too. So with this whole social network, going back to that degree, I'm shifting away. And I think a lot of people have to shift away too. I'm like looking into alternatives to even like YouTube and everything. Because as much as like I like YouTube, I use it a lot too. But I may like use another one at that same time. For example, I think like BitChute is BITCHUTE is a new one, or at least one that's more of a peer-to-peer program. So it's not actually like subjugated to Google's servers, but instead it's actually just exchange information based on what you'd like to see. And I mean, if anyone who understands torrenting, yeah, it's that kind of technology. And I mean, you can P2P, which is a short-term version for peer-to-peer, in forms of even like Bitcoin. So I can see these types of methods being a lot more freedom friendly in terms of what you'd like to do, and not being held back by any agendas, motivations, or even like price points. Like for me, I'll tell you straight up, I don't have ads on anything I do. I have custom codes and scripts just to make sure that I don't have to see any ads. I don't want that in my experience, nor do I want to like take that into my consciousness. So I mean, it could just be that they understand the data that they're collecting on people, can see if they're making money on them or not, and whether to support them. I mean, it's just the whole, advertisers have such key algorithms to match content with the people you're taking in. It's scary at times, but at the same time too, it's all brought into being by humans, so it's just a greed mechanism. Now if you go to the morale of aspects of who you'd like to be and express, now you don't need to be #tryhard, you don't have to like go into categories. Now you can post stuff because it's relevant, but you do not have to force just to play up and keep up with what would be a standard. It doesn't work that way. I remember there was a state where we can just post it, and when we posted it was there. It was not out of order, it was not hidden, it was raw content for you to discern. I mean, that's what the world is. You don't just take it and go with it. You take it and you work with it and understand it and see if it works for you. But the thing is, you take it out how it is. You don't try to put some rose-colored glasses on it, or try to like swift things up so you can get for promotions or ads in just to sell a product. I mean, if you're going to support these kind of practices, it's no differently than the practices that are being abused everywhere else on people, and it extends a lot more than just social media. So it's food for thought. I mean, I just had that other video. It's 75 today. I said it was going to be 70. It's 75. And it's hot. It's nice. I love it. And then a couple of days from now, it's going to be below freezing. But it's so absurd. And all the birds everywhere, they're all flocking back. And at that same time, too, not only that, I'm looking up in the sky, and you'll see like some planes that don't have a trail and other planes that do have the trail. So they're like definitely spraying. Which, see, I like my nature, but at the same time, too, this is going to be more towards the reason why we gotta like grow stuff in greenhouses and stuff, just to avoid any contamination due to these sort of operations being performed on people without their knowledge or foretold awareness, being, I guess, just understanding what's happening, plain and simple. And like, I guess this is a time where we gotta educate each other and not go against what the crowd is, because conformity is just, that's false happiness. I mean, sure, you might feel like you belong to something, but it's not your true calling if you're trying to follow someone else. Now, if you're going to use it for inspiration, go for it, but find your own voice. Whew. So yeah, I'm glad to be out here though. It's lovely. Huge mountain view behind me. Exploring all around. So stay up to date. Okay, howdy. So I guess my battery died. Luckily I had a spare. So I guess I was finishing things off. Yeah, I got like websites and subscribe and stuff. And I mean, there's gonna be a playlist here if it's on YouTube.